बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि।
The life and teachings of the Buddha. Imagine you are walking across a swamp in southern India and you come across this beautiful bright pink lotus flower. You look at it and think, how could something so beautiful bloom from murky, ugly swamp water? But the thing is, most humans are like a lotus flower. They are born in murky, difficult to negative water. Only a few, however, manage to rise above their conditions and bloom like the lotus flower. If they do, they reach the optimal life or nirvana, similar to how a lotus flower blooms. Buddha dedicated his life towards helping most people blossom and reach enlightenment. Who is Buddha? The life story of the Buddha begins in Lumbini, near the border of Nepal and India. About 2660 years ago, where Prince Siddhartha Gautama was born. Growing up, the Buddha was exceptionally intelligent and compassionate. Tall, strong, and handsome, the Buddha belonged to the warrior caste. It was predicted that he would become either a great king or spiritual leader. Since his parents wanted a powerful ruler for their kingdom, they tried to prevent Siddhartha from seeking the unsatisfactory nature of the world. They surrounded him with every kind of pleasure and sheltered worldview. At the age of 29, he was confronted with having to view things like poverty, death, famine, and old age. He had never seen something as normal as aging before. It completely terrified him, and despite his privilege and wealth, he and his loved ones would have to come to terms with aging and death. Later on, he saw a man who was meditating in deep absorption. When their eyes met and their minds linked, Siddhartha Siddhartha stopped, mesmerized in a flash. He realized that the perfection he had been seeking outside, which had been shattered, must be within mind itself. Meeting that man gave the future Buddha a first taste of mind, a true and lasting refuge, which he knew he had to experience himself for the good of all. So Buddha went on to renounce his traditional beliefs, abandon his luxury, and became an ascetic, or someone who wants to solve suffering and seeking spirituality through of all desire. Ascetics often deprived themselves of sleep, shelter, and food. Through all this experience, he came to realization that extremely like he had been living in as a prince, and both independently do not achieve enlightenment. Then he decided to sit under a tree and simply meditate until he gained enlightenment. One day, when he stood up from that tree, he became the Buddha, or the awakened one. The Four Noble Truths. Suffering is universal. Happiness eventually fades, regardless of what you do. But a dream car gets that nice watch. Buddha classified dissatisfaction as the default state of the human brain. This makes so much sense, since if we are not dissatisfied constantly, nothing would get done. Our lives are struggle, and we won't find ultimate happiness in anything we experience. This is known as problem of existence. Desiring gives unhappiness and dissatisfaction. Before we can try to eliminate desire, we must understand it. The three main causes of desire by the mind are attachment, aversion, or managing your problems, and ignorance. Attachment is when we are in attachment to obtain happiness through material desires, we often magnify the good traits and ignore the bad traits. Think of that Range Rover you have been wanting. You love to think about riding in the nice leather interior of the car, and less on how much oil it takes to fuel one. Aversion. Aversion occurs when we face anger or not reaching certain expectations for someone or something. Think of when you are in traffic and someone cuts you off, which prevents you from passing an intersection before the light turns red. You are probably thinking, dang, I could save so much time if that idiot didn't cut me off. But you can actually control if that person cuts you off or not. Having these expectations for things you cannot control the irritational. If things work, awesome, but if not, it's all good. Eliminating all suffering. From the last two, we can deduce by eliminating all desires. Nirodha in Sanskrit, we can eliminate suffering. Buddha believed that aversion, ignorance, and attachment, the three forms of desire, all stems from selfishness, and selfishness is rooted in the belief that you are separate from the rest of the world. By eliminating the self, you eliminate suffering. Attaining nirvana. Buddha believed that the way to end suffering through developing wisdom, ethical conduct, and meditation. By having the right understanding of suffering and desire, which the Noble Truths helps to provide the right value and attitude. Meditation can be used as vehicle for developing mindfulness. Buddha defined mindfulness as a method of removing the internal clutter which drives unhappiness, strong morals and ethics, understanding desire and suffering wisdom. If we develop the right understanding of how to avoid things that make us unhappy and cause suffering, such as desire, and develop a strong ethical conduct while practicing mindfulness, we can get much closer to achieving happiness. Everything is not permanent and changing. The self is not personal and unchanging. In addition to developing wisdom or understanding and mindfulness, the other part of process of enlightenment is to become ultra aware of the world around us and the universe. Buddhism teaches how to best develop the wisdom, morals, mindfulness, and truths to achieve happiness. If we can understand ourselves really well and develop unique knowledge about the world, we can use the principles of Buddha to be happier and more aware of ourselves, and the world will be around us. Thanks for taking the time to read through my thoughts on Buddha. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to chat with me. Or if you would like to learn about any new concept, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks again.